Hey, what is going on, guys? My name's the Majestic Lamb. Today we are playing the video games, and today we're gonna be talking about why I think that Star Wars Battlefront 3 or Star Wars Battlefront, whichever you want to call it, will not be as good as its two other counterparts made by LucasArts. Now, of course, we're gonna get right into this in this video. Now, we all know that DICE is going to make an amazing Star Wars Battlefront game for us. I have no doubt that I will not be blown away by this game. They're going to do an amazing job. They make good Battlefield games. They make good games in general. Games I have personally loved. But will it kind of do will they go good with Star Wars Battlefront, what I'm trying to say? Will they kind of surprise us? Because we all know that the original two Star Wars Battlefront games were mainly single player, which it wasn't too bad, you know, it was the PlayStation 2 and Xbox era. So multiplayer games weren't as big back then as they are now. So we can definitely expect a multiplayer game, but is basically the majority of the people buying Star Wars Battlefront 3, I'm going to refer to it as Star Wars Battlefront 3 by the way, just so there's no confusion between the actual first one and the one that DICE is making. So, but will it kind of be good as its other counterparts? Now, I personally loved Star Wars Battlefront 1. I played that all the time as a kid, and I played Star Wars Battlefront 2 all the time as a kid. I love playing as a Jedi. I don't know why. Although I loved killing the Jedi in Star Wars Battlefront 1 with a big vehicle. Off topic, but literally those games, they were some of the best games I've ever played, and I have played hundreds of games, but yet still it's not that I just love Star Wars, it's that those games, that was quality games back then. It was mainly because there was no, like, DICE has been known to release a game and have it not be finished, and of course you might know I'm referring to the Battlefield 4 launch. And that game, that was a one-time terrible launch. But even before Battlefield 4, they still had somewhat of a rep, per se, for releasing a game before it's finished and giving us a couple months of updates and whatnot. And I don't initially want that. Like, they've had 2 years to make this game, and I don't think that they have kind of what it takes to surpass what LucasArts kind of left behind for us. Now, of course, DICE, the people that are actually working on this game, like right now, they did go back to the original places where the films were made, so we could actually see some authenticity when it comes to the films. I don't know how much they're going to refer back to the older games, but they definitely will refer back to the older games a slight bit, as they have done in the concept art that was kind of, I don't know if it was leaked, but there was a concept art that was put out by DICE, I believe, and it did show some initial references to the original one. Like, they're not changing too much. Like in the original Star Wars Battlefront, the Rebel Troopers wore like a certain type of clothing. Then that changed in Star Wars Battlefront 2. It looks like they're kind of referring back to what it was in Star Wars Battlefront 1 and stuff, coming up with their own. I have no issue with that. Stuff like that, you know, they're kind of just going back, it looks like, in that concept art that was leaked. So I am looking forward to it. I believe they also went to the Lucas Archives, I believe it's called, where it shows like the original stuff that was used in the movies and the games that was basically based off of it and stuff like that. So that was really nice, and I personally cannot wait for it, but I don't think that DICE has what it takes to kind of surprise us, because they're not that kind of developer. I'm sorry, but they're truly not a type of game developer that's gonna come out of the stupid whatever and just be like, you know, here's our game and we're gonna expect this, I'm gonna get this high up glorious thing. I don't think that they're gonna be able to come up with something of that. It's not initially who DICE is. Like, I didn't even buy Battlefield 4 because I knew Battlefield 4 was rushed completely, and it was absolutely, the launch is bad, and some people even still could argue that the game is still even broken after months of patches, And then, you know, I feel video game developers just aren't as good as they were back then. And when it comes to Star Wars, one, you already have a huge weight put on your shoulders just to the fact of it being Star Wars. Then having it be a Star Wars Battlefront game, you have like, DICE is probably going to go 80% or something, maybe 100%, but we're going to be expecting 110%, okay? We're always going to expect a little bit more than what they can offer, so I don't think that initially DICE might have been the best choice for a developer. I think that, I don't know what it is, but I think that we should have gone with a different type of developer when it comes to making a Star Wars Battlefront game. Now, I don't know what the actual game is going to be. We don't know. We don't have too many details on the game itself. We have like a couple important details that we all wanted, like there's going to be space to ground battles, big maps, you know, stuff like that. But should we have gone with a different developer when it comes to making a Star Wars game? I feel that if we wanted to do a multiplayer based game, we should have gone with DICE. So maybe Disney, I believe Disney bought Star Wars, was like, you know what, let's make a multiplayer based one, let's go with DICE. I don't know what kind of train of thought they were having that day, but in my terms, in my book, I think I would have gone with either BioWare or Bethesda. Now that's just what I would have kind of have gone with, because DICE is more towards how the game looks and the multiplayer of it. And when it comes to Star Wars, I don't even care about the graphics, okay? It could be block graphics, and I would play that. I don't think I could do it with block graphics. But it could be like, it could be 2015, and they could do an engine that was 10 times worse than the one that they had for the original ones. And I would still play because it's Star Wars. But when it comes down to DICE, it's more about the graphical aspect of it and multiplayer. When it comes to BioWare, you know, they have a good engine, you know, it's an engine that most people can run. But then they have a good storyline, man. Then they can do a nice little open world type thing, big maps. Then they could kind of give us what we are expecting. Or Bethesda, which is amazing for open world but doesn't do good stories. But when it's Star Wars, I don't think that you need to run too good of a campaign storyline-ish when it comes to Star Wars. Also, they make great open maps. Like, they make amazing open maps. Like, I don't know what it is, but Bethesda just has the best team when it comes to open world games. Now, I don't know if Battlefront 3 is going to be open world, but if it was going to have big maps and whatnot, Bethesda would still be a great option. They can still make a good multiplayer based game, and they could still do a amazing single player based game. And the graphical engine, I don't care about the graphics, man, I truly do not. So basically between BioWare, Bethesda, and DICE, those are the three I'm considering for a Star Wars Battlefront game. They went with DICE, but I feel like they should have gone with somebody else. In my terms, Bethesda would have been a optimal choice for a Star Wars game. You know, like, it's not like most people go off of experience. Well, neither developers have actually had any experience with a game of this like, you know, I don't know how big this game is, and so it's like, either way, they're still starting from scratch. They're still going to go off the same amount of experience that each developer has, but at that point it just goes down to which one would be the optimal choice to make a game and what are you looking for. Hope you guys enjoyed this gameplay commentary, and I will see you guys in the next video.